Hey y'all, I have a whole lot of slides to cover today. Don't forget to hit those buttons while you're listening. First up, we have Is Not Real examining if H leader was unalived in Gaza. The officials have taken the body of slain militant to the laboratory in order to assess whether its DNA is in fact H leader. We have 3 unalive and 4 injured in the collapse of a Mississippi bridge that was being prepped for demolition. It says that it's not really known how the accident has happened. The workers were there prepping for the demolition when this happened yesterday. I don't know why this is striking, but a striking UN Development Program report published Thursday revealed that more than 1 billion people worldwide are living in acute poverty. It also found that children account for more than half of those affected and that poverty rates are 3 times higher in countries at war. This isn't surprising to me, so the word striking. I guess we're going to find out some things about this. Parents are suing a son's high school history teacher over AI cheating punishment. The parents argue that there's no policy on AI use in the student handbook, calling the disciplinary actions unfair. This was just 3 hours ago, so I guess at some town hall, Trump is still refusing to back off the claims of Ohio migrants eating pets, which is just absolutely absurd to me. That local leaders from both parties have rejected these claims, stating there's no credible reports. And he's still saying this. But of course, everything that his whole talking point is immigrants. Everything. This is infuriating. It's looking like voters in 9 states are deciding next month whether to add the right to abortion to their constitutions. But the measures are unlikely to dramatically change access, at least not immediately. Instead, voter approval would launch more lawsuits, and it's just going to be lawsuit after lawsuit. There are 3 suing for the abortion bill, even though the Supreme Court has ruled on that. New Mexico governor rescinds the emergency health order that suspended pew-pew rights in playgrounds. So last year, she put in this emergency order, which drew protests and calls for her impeachment. Okay. Anyway, she let it expire. They've stated that they're going to continue to fight to protect communities from pew-pew related dangers. Why does anyone need that at a playground? Why? We have a New Hampshire Supreme Court justice indicted over alleged attempts to interfere with the investigation into her husband. No surprise, crooked ass motherfuckers. And why? I don't know. LA Archdiocese reaches $880 million abuse settlement. This settlement is the largest by a U.S. diocese regarding decades-old abuse claims, marking the end of a 25-year litigation. Archbishop Gomez expressed hope that the settlement would aid in healing for survivors who have suffered for decades. When are we going to dismantle this shit? Why do people still do this? I swear we will not evolve as a species as long as religion is around. And we uphold these people and we listen to them. Remember when the Pope came, people were, ugh. A federal judge halts an Alabama program that purged thousands of legal voters. Y'all, this injunction that the judge has done requires education for county officials, a press release, and notification for reactivated voters, emphasizing the importance of accurate information. Yay. Global water crisis to threaten half of the food production by 2050 are already poisoned food, right? Oh yes, because if you weren't aware, that 10 million pounds of Bruce Pack has now gone up to 12 million pounds, and it's hit the U.S. schools. So let's add that. Yeah, here's the 3 states renewing their efforts to reduce access to mifepristone. A man gets 45-year prison sentence in the fentanyl death of a toddler at a New York City daycare. He had hid a stash of fentanyl beneath the floorboards of a Bronx daycare center, was sentenced to 45 years on Wednesday. This is not the first child death that we have seen. As a matter of fact, it's been rising this year due to fentanyl. Helene and Milton are both likely to be $50 billion disasters. Over 95% of Helene's damages were uninsured, significantly affecting victims' financial recovery. And we only have $2 billion federal money, I guess, allocated to help these people. No surprise here. Confidence in media falls to a new low ahead of presidential election. I could go on and on about this. I was listening to a live ABC, and there were commercials in there. And because I read the news myself, and I'm reading these articles, and then I'm thinking about how they're reporting, like they did a whole thing about the U.S. Mexico pew pew, the cartels, but they almost spun it like not like we're the bad guys, but like, anyways, it's disgusting. Apparently, the FBI has revised the 2022 crime data to show violent offenses rose rather than dropped. Anyways, I'm guessing this is new as it was just 3 hours ago. Apparently, Colt Gray had a notebook that included sketches of the classroom and writings to estimate casualty counts. We know that the father is being charged because he knew his son was a threat. And I'm sure he got that way because of Dad. Liam Payne from One Direction, which I'm not familiar with this group, but he passed away in South America. He and his girlfriend were there. She came back early. She broke out in some weird rash before her flight due to anxiety about her travel, but was just happy to be home. And then 3 days later, he fell and is now not with us anymore. In Nigeria, a fuel tanker had spilled. People were running to get gasoline and scoop it up, and it exploded, leaving at least 150 people losing their lives trying to scoop up gas. I thought it was funny that the main story in the New York Times was about nihilism and our cynicism of the government. Because, yes, they don't care about us, and I just want everyone to see it. Kamala is making a direct pitch to Republican voters. We're seeing it in real time. Her news interview with Fox says this is the most contentious meeting with a journalist since becoming the Democratic nominee. She says that her presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. They have raised biggest super PAC. Hold on. Future Forward, $700 million to test and blast out ads. The concentration of money has bred suspicion, you think? Former President Jimmy Carter voted by mail in Georgia, 100 years old, and told his family that he wanted to vote for Harris before he died. He got that ballot mailed in. I just happened to be scrolling through live yesterday when I heard him say this, it was like, is he for real? That she was going to pay for immigrant sex changes. He also apparently declared himself the father of IVF and began making promises about treatment this year. Let's see. So funny. Trump's campaign has engaged. It's not funny though. This is like, it's comical, but then like this is real life. So embarrassing. Okay. Trump's campaign has engaged in creative accounting to maximize ad spending. It treats his rallies as fundraisers and lists just 11 people on payroll. Republicans who have questioned the 2020 election results are running for Congress. If they win, they'll play a role in certifying the results this year. Scare me. This right here. Okay, we got the Supreme Court in California poised to side against the EPA in a case brought by San Francisco. The city argues that the rules about releasing human waste into the Pacific are vague and could be interpreted too strictly. I did not know that they dump the human waste into the ocean. Is that what happens? I guess where does it go? Oh my gosh. I'm tripping, y'all. Italy has criminalized seeking surrogacy abroad. U.S. warplane struck 5 underground weapons facilities in parts of Yemen controlled by the Houthis. Now, this is the New York Times headline, so take it with a grain of salt. It is not real bomb. The densely populated outskirts of Beirut. It also struck a southern Lebanese city, unaliving at least 16 people, including the local mayor. We need to prepare, don't we? All right, don't forget to hit those buttons over there. I hope your day doesn't suck. Okay, love y'all. Bye.